Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. I have been called yet again to kind of just let you sink into the words as they come through, to not have the visual distraction of the cards present, and just let it flow and keep what resonates and leave what does not. I've already cleansed with the kyanite and cleared with the selenite. So everything is aligned within the energy being in the space, along the chakras, and elevated, so that only the messages of the highest and greatest good may come through, even if it is to inspire healing. And from there, I will open with the resonance of that of the third eye. And I invite you to take a deep breath in, hold for 1 second, and slowly exhale with me. There was quite a lot that came through in the meditation coming in. There is a period of time for those that are tuning in where you are taking some time for you, to soothe you, to reassure yourself that you love yourself, that you're there for you, that the only thing that truly matters is that you feel good. Nothing is more important than that you feel good. Everyone desires to be happy. Everyone does. Through making this feeling good, through taking time for you in calming activities, soothing activities, meditation, gardening, stretching. Because through this space of you feeling good is where you're going to inspire that you desire to manifest in your life. You will match that energy. If you're in joy, you'll manifest more joy. There's a synchronicity that came through here of the Rihanna song, Umbrella. Through the corridor of your joy is the pathway to that which you desire. Also, Six of Wands energy and a sense of Six of Swords energy. So there may be something that you desire that would be coming back to life within yourself, a piece of you that you are healing, as well as it being reflected back to you, and it being a space of less chaos and more calm, more peace. A transition into a time where you can heal. The sense of needing to cleanse, to restore, to nurture yourself, yes, but this is because there have been some deeply seated in your heart wounds that have arisen, that have you in your feelings, that feel almost afresh and anew, and this is so that you can heal this. Whatever situation has brought it up for you in your experience is so that you can clear that, master it, be that warrior that you are, that wise warrior that you are. That is a very core essence of human spirit, is to be. It transcends religion, cultures, times. You'll find these wise warriors in just about every human history tradition, be it samurai or the Aboriginal or the Native American warriors, the wise warriors. some of their ancient stories are still present today, and they're some of the original format. There's one from the Aboriginals that they can verify to, like, I can't remember how many years back, but it was a long time ago that event happened in the sky, and they had a story about it. So it's wise warriors. You can count yourself soul, human, having this experience. You are a wise warrior, and you're always willing to learn. In healing this wound, you are able to help others that may be encountering this wound find their way through that, because you survived, that you healed, that you're finding your joy and you're manifesting that you desire as a result, they can too. This is something that is very muchly anchored in your soul. It's part of the soul contract that you have, the mission. You're supported as well by the ancestors, be they of Gaia or, the stars. You have ancestors that soul-wise span the universe. And you have all of that wisdom within you, supporting you, anchoring you into this moment, and protecting you. There's a very strong symbol present within the imagery here, and that is of the Merkaba. Elevates that energy. It's very protective of you in this space, to see that higher picture, to open to that you maybe don't understand, but you sense is only of love and light. To be willing to open to that can be very scary. However, you're grounded in that safety with the ancestors, that you have been here before, you have done this before, that everything really is just as it is meant to be. In this moment, you are right where you are meant to be. And then what came through is more about your unique relationship with yourself. How you relate with your soul, your higher self. How you feel about that part of you. The dialogue, if you have your own way of communicating with this part of you. Because everything that you seek is within you. Embracing who you are and all that uniqueness. All that you contribute to the world that no one else can the way you do, because no one else is you. Your unique light is needed. It's like you're that one last instrument that, like, if you were not a part of the symphony or the band, it would be lesser for your not being there. Your uniqueness of spirit, of self, however, quiet you may be and unassuming, has a huge impact just because you're present. In this space and time, your presence or absence is very, very noticeable. You're an old soul. Definitely an old soul. You're ascending, you're learning these things, you're growing, you're integrating them. Ascending is like, it's not like you're on an escalator necessarily. It's more that you're opening to more of all that you can be in this experience, in this moment, in time, and the next moment, and the next moment, appreciating those little things. The simple joys of life are where you find those synchronicities. You find the sacred and the simple. When you have loved someone, not necessarily am I speaking about a romantic thing. It could be a parent, an aunt or an uncle, a grandparent, someone that you love, that has been in your life a long time, and then you have to mourn them. They pass on. They're still present because they're present within you. And every time you encounter certain things that the two of you would giggle about, or that were unique to them, that just made you feel like the world was right because this is just who they are, and it made you feel like you were home. Those little things are what you miss the most. You miss those little moments that only the two of you and whomever else is in the environment share, that tells you that you're known. No one else sees this part of them, just you. You know, that kind of a appreciation for the little things. That's where you see the divine winking at you quite often through another individual. Is their authentic self coming through. Nothing is coincidence here. As you go through this healing and you know that you're safe, and you know that everything that you actually seek exists within you, and you turn inward, you will find that everything around you, because you're seeking your joy, nothing is more important than that you feel good, because you will attract energy that matches that continues to feed that, to amplify it. There's harmony coming into play within you along many different dimensions, platforms, and genres of your life, aspects, categories. However you choose to identify with the different boxes in your mind and your heart and your experience that are for this part of your life and that part of your life, they're all coming into harmony. So they're not necessarily touching, but they're working in unison, in synchronicity, in a way where it just somehow beautifully unfolds perfectly for you to know yourself to a greater degree. How happy can you be, truly? How loved can you actually feel? How good can life be? What is it that you actually desire? Some of this healing is going to be aspects of your own mind that are presented as though they are your inner critic, but they're not. Because you have gotten to this point and you've looked within, you have seen that wisdom within you, that light within you. You may be going through this process for a time where you're going, you know what, I don't own that. That's not me. That's not my voice. I'm not going to talk to myself this way. I'm not going to allow my subconscious to speak to me in this way. I'm going to choose, because I know I can, to change that into something positive, to allow that thought process, that energy, you're owning your sovereignty over your energy, your being, your mind, your thoughts, your will. You choose to say to that energy that it is changing into something positive and it is no longer what it just presented itself as. And as you do this, more and more of these things become positive and they're no longer what they once were. To embrace this process, knowing that that's what it is, you're healing yourself. No longer is it going to be the sense of being tested or being attacked in some way, shape, or form. However subtle it may be or obvious, energetic-wise, anything projected onto you that you once owned or that was placed within your subconscious through a strong emotional connection, you're choosing because you know you have the authority to transmute it, to change it, Every time a thought, emotion, any of that happens that you don't like the way it makes you feel, it takes away from your ability to feel good and thus manifest that you desire, you can tell yourself, no, I don't agree with this. I'm choosing to allow you to be other than what you are right now. And you're saying that to the thought or the emotion. You can choose to be other now. I'm choosing for you to be other now. You are going to be positive now. However that dialogue needs to go for you internally, for you to own it, for it to be real and tangible to you. You have that power to do that. You are not alone in this. The divine is co-creating this within you. Your foundation is solid with the divine, however you relate to that aspect of yourself. This is a falling in love with the divine within you. Yourself, your higher self, that soul aspect of you. That heart between you and that part of yourself is fully activated. And you get to explore that. And how exciting is that? How beautiful is that? Take a moment and just own that. Everything that brought you to this moment where you get to have these words resonate with you as your truth. So much happiness, so much love that is existing in you right now for being where you are. You're already experiencing feeling good. And because of that, you're bringing that you desire that much closer to you. I'm so excited for you guys. And then, as another synchronicity with Wise Warrior that came through was Shambhala. And if you've read a little bit about the Shambhala, it does speak to that human wise warrior aspect that is beyond cultural expectation. It exists within being human. You may not seek confrontation. You may not go there as default. You will seek peaceful ways to resolve things first. You will seek to be diplomatic with those around you, to be empathetic and compassionate, and to hone that wisdom. That does not mean that should it come to a situation, just as there have been traditions of wise warriors, they were very, very adept warriors when it came to defending physically that they loved. But that was not their first go-to. That was not the first solution that they tried because they were wise first. There's a call to reflect a little bit upon what your dharma may be. And your dharma, it's a bit of a spin on karma. So what is the story of your life? From the time you were born to this moment right now, what was every hurt, every obstacle, every trauma you overcame, every relationship you learned from? All of that tells you the story of your purpose, because every single thing that you've experienced in your life, that you've overcome and you've healed, or you have yet to overcome and heal, is the contribution, is what what are we doing here, guys? Is the contribution, is the purpose, is where you can show others the way. Even if this is just a situation where you maybe you're not like sharing it with the whole world on a grand stage and you're speaking this to everyone and they're all tuned in all over the planet. It could be a thing where you have someone before you that has not had some of the things that you have had that have made it possible for you to overcome. You know you've overcome these things and they're before you. That's a heart, that's a being that could be breaking. And because you have found the way, you can at least let them know that there's hope, that there is a way because you found a way. And your way may not be their way, but you found a way, so it's possible. It's also a trusting in the process because we're always evolving and learning and growing. And we're healing old hurts again and again as we move through life. Say there was something that happened when you were a young teenager. Well, when you're a young man or a young woman, you may encounter some situations where you process a little more of it as an older version of yourself encountering new situations that challenge it. And then say you get into your first committed relationship and there's dynamics with all the individuals around you too. And then you become parents, and then your kids leave the nest, and then you become grandparents. Like every stage you're learning yourself, you're healing these things in new ways. You're understanding yourself from new angles, and thus you're understanding life from many directions. Your will, your solar plexus, especially if you've been feeling any kind of changes in that space, like the gut instinct. But this individual was like, I just had a gut instinct and it said that there was possibly something down this direction and I needed to go look. And so they did, and they saved a life. Or they protected something or someone from something bad that could have happened, but they just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That is the solar plexus. That is your will anchored into this reality, the 3D, the third chakra. Your higher self, your soul has been very present within this reading. So when those things happen, you're working in tandem. You're on the same page as this part of you. That's why there's that upgrade, because you have a higher energetic aspect coming into play in your third chakra. Your higher self is more present in your 3D reality. So your third chakra needed an upgrade. There's Isis energy here. So all the mythology of Isis, the goddess Isis, is that she took bits and pieces and parts of her husband and Horus and put him back together. And they were able to create a life. This is the story of you. This is the masculine and the feminine within you. You have retrieved all these pieces of yourself, like soul recall, right? All these pieces of your energy and these attachments, you have called them back to you, and you are creating now. Be it a new business, a new job, a new relationship, a new life, literally. You are creating new life. Hapono Ono? I think that's right. I want to say like another Ono on there for some reason. It's interesting. Divine's a little bit of a comedian. It can really, really help you to call back that energy in a kind, loving, compassionate way for yourself, as well as the energy you're detaching from. You're releasing, you're letting go, because it's not done with any kind of negative, vindictive, angry. It's actually fully unable to remain attached because you're not holding that anger or resentment in you, that defensiveness to it. If you're still holding on to that, you're holding on to the connection. So with the meditation, it may take time. It may take time depending on these energies and how prevalent and present they are for you. But the greatest thing that you could do for yourself and for them is to move forward and not be held back by it in any way. To not have it impact your ability to feel good. To not be adding cuts to the wound anymore. To let it actually heal and apply that balm to it with taking care of yourself and having that empathetic, nurturing energy directed towards you. As you go through this process here in your life, throughout your life, you will be receiving upgrades and upgrades and upgrades. It pretty much means, it sounds like we're talking about like a software update. But every time you look at a part of you in a new angle, in a new way, and you're able to understand yourself more completely, you're upgrading yourself. You are more informed as you move through the world. You are wiser. And because of that, you have an impact that inspires that very same wisdom in others, simply because you're evidence, you're proof that it's possible, that it can be done. You are hope walking. And in our history, there have been many wounds on the human collective consciousness where hope was attempted to be snuffed out. Hope, buried alive, never dies. You can't kill hope. You could try. Humans have tried, but it always lived. The particular example that is coming to mind for me that I'm being guided to share is of I think they called them internment camps after Pearl Harbor, and how they were not allowed to practice Buddhism. So they found ways to continue to practice Buddhism. It's like an American Buddhism. There was something with like the teacups and how they did, like they arranged it all in a certain way, and the guards didn't understand this significance of it because, they wanted them all to convert to what they wanted them to convert to. But as a collective, they knew what it meant, and it was their way of honoring that and holding on to those beliefs and those traditions, even in that experience. Like, that was a very trying time, and they held on to themselves and they persevered. And that's one of many examples in our history. Many examples. And may we not continue to repeat them. You are a wise warrior. As you overcome, you provide that hope to others that are dealing with similar wounds to know that they can overcome too. And the more people that we have in this world that are wise warriors of that human spirit, the better our society will be. And the more likely it'll be that we don't repeat those same experiences in our collective. Thank you for doing the work that you have done on yourself. Thank you for moving forward, for putting one foot in front of the other, even if you needed a moment to just rest. Thank you for doing this work, because the world is a better place for you having done so. And it will continue to be, because the world can't save itself. You are willing to do that work in your piece of the world. Thank you for doing that, for keeping that light and that hope alive in your part of the world, because it inspires light outside of you, just because you're keeping that light alive for you, within you. You leave little pieces of light behind you. In other words, inspiration. Why is that person so calm? What is so different about them? They're really fascinating. I wonder what their story is. The moment that those thoughts and those feelings happen in people, the divine is moving to answer them. You don't have to do anything but exist. Thank you. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.